Hi, and welcome to Virginia State University's Randolph Farm. Today we're going to be talking about what you might be able to put in your garden in the fall. And these crops that you see all around me are cole crops. That's C-O-L-E, not cold, although they do very well in cool or cold temperatures. They're also known as brassicas or the cabbage family of crops. They're crops that in most of Virginia you can plant in late August, early September, and run through now. November, December, January, maybe even on some of these. They can be a great crop for your garden that time of the year and can be very, very productive. Because they're in the same family, they all have very similar requirements. The spacing that you would space within the row, around 18 inches for most of these. The way that you would plant them. Their pH requirement, for example, anywhere from 6.5 to 7.0 is good for most of these crops. They need a steady supply of water throughout the growing season, probably about an inch a week, and they need a fair amount of fertilizer that you can give them through amending the soil with compost or some type of synthetic fertilizer. And what we're talking about here is kale, cabbage, maybe broccoli, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, those type of crops. Now these crops can be transplanted or they can be direct seeded. Some of the crops that you see behind us were transplanted. Little seeds were put in pots and made transplants to go in the ground. Others were direct seeded. And what you might use for something like this, if you had a long row, would be a seeder like this, a push planter that you would use to go down and seed put the seeds in the ground, make nice long rows if you had a big enough garden. And also transplants like you see here. If you've got a greenhouse or the ability to buy these, most of these crops do very well transplanted. Now there are some insect problems with some of these crops, harlequin bugs, cabbage loopers, and you can spray some kind of safe chemicals like BT, but you can also cover these with row covers early on and keep the insects out. You're really excluding the insects. Well, these are collards, and this is a really nice patch of collards. The thing about them is you plant them in August, and they will get a nice light frost on them, and a lot of people say they even taste better once they've had that. So a fall planting of these is probably a little bit better than a spring planting. We've also got some broccoli here. Now this is a great crop. People will also eat the greens of the broccoli, but really you're trying to get the head here that you see. And you know it's ready to harvest when these buds are starting to get tight. If they start to bloom, then you've gone a little bit too mature, so try to get them as they're swelling and just before they open up. Well, cabbage is another one, like collard greens and kale, that's pretty cold hardy. It can withstand light frosts. People are always asking, when is it ready to harvest? And if you look at this one right here to my left, it's not quite ready to go. This one in front of me looks like it's ready, and if you feel it, it's nice and firm, so this one's ready to be harvested and ready to be eaten. And then we've got kale. This is another great crop. People think of it as a superfood. They love it in salads and smoothies. Even deer love it. And sometimes it's hard to find seed, in fact, because so many people are growing it. Well, for all these cole crops, if you'd like more information, please contact your local county extension office. For From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.